just want to quickly touch on business development. Some of you were invited to the Rios Infrastructure conference over just 2 days ago, and I had an opportunity to speak on an AI panel. One of the things that is happening that you should pay attention to in your business is the speed at which AI is transforming business development. So with respect to leads, some of you should be getting the Alacrity bid notifications on a regular basis. I think there's 20 something of you who are not getting it, and that's probably because you haven't been matched, right? So what the Alacrity Analytics tool does, it creates a profile of your company with your descriptions and feeds you these leads. So pay attention to your email, because that's also part of how you're managing your back office.
So important. All right, so that's planning and estimate. Let's get right to finances. You want to track your income expenses weekly using maybe a software tool like QuickBooks or any other program that does job costing. Do not listen to me. Separate out your personal expenses from your business expenses. Why? Because it mixes in and you have to give your financials to the state agencies and city agencies, even the SCA. They're going to want your financials. And when they look at it, they're going to be like, oh, he's not profitable. She's not profitable. Why? Because you mixed up your personal expenses with your business expenses, and they look at that. You're looking at me surprised because it's true.
No, Mrs.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mrs.
Okay. So, example, you went food shopping and it's $300 at Key Food, and you do that every week. It's going to accumulate after some time, and they're going to be like, hey, you have like meals and entertainment here that's really high. They're going to look at that. So pay yourself a paycheck and then use that. Thank you. Use that to track your personal expenses because they're looking. And then it's going to be hard to try to convince them that you're good for the job because they want to see you as a profitable, strong company. If they see that, they're going to be like, maybe not so much. All right. So separate that out. Reconcile your bank statements. What does reconcile mean? Is there anybody here? I'm going to ask William, what does reconcile mean?
Well, to be sure, you pretty much back all the items in your statements into job. But whatever item if it's a credit or debit, make sure is against the specific job.
Okay. So reconciliation means you're matching your bank statements with your QuickBooks, right? Every month. So whatever you spend in your business account should be allocated in job costing when you do your books before you close out. So reconciliation is like closing out your books. So if you went to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever to buy something, you're going to say, well, this materials was for this job. This materials was for this job. But when the income comes in, you're going to say the income came from this job. All right. And then when you go ahead and pay your employees labor, you're going to say, oh, Jorge and Juan, both of them was working at this job. Why do we do that? So we could know how much labor we spent on that job, how much expenses we paid on that job, how much we spent on that job. It says you're profitable. You're good. Or, hey, you're not profitable. What happened? Oh, shoot. I had to rent a piece of equipment. That's what happened. All right. You had it in your estimate. You're still good. But that's an example of looking at your books as the owner and saying, hey, wait a minute. I need to see what's going on in my business. So you want to stay on top of your invoicing collection. You don't want to, first off, you don't want to not pay your vendors, because if you don't pay your vendors, forget about it. You're not going to have a good relationship with them. They're going to be like, I'm not going to give him an estimate, and I'm not going to deal with him because he doesn't pay. And then now you have one less vendor that you could purchase from. You want to stay on top of invoicing. Guess what? Nobody's going to pay you if you don't invoice. If I don't send an invoice to somebody, they're like, ooh, Jackie forgot. I'm not going to pay her until she remembers. And then I'm going to be like, Now I'm going to remember because I need money to pay my expenses, right? Want to work with a bookkeeper or accountant? I would recommend definitely working with a construction accountant because a construction accountant knows how to do your books. Your regular accountant is going to say, just get QuickBooks Online because it's easy for me to do the work. But you're going to tell that accountant, wait a minute, it's not to make your job easy. It's for me to be able to go in there and see job costing so I can know what I'm paying for this job so I can know if my estimate was right because maybe you're not doing estimating. Maybe you hired someone else to do estimating. And how do you know if this estimating is right? Unless you check. And that's how you check. So you can go inside your system and say, run this report for me. Let me see profit and loss by job. And it goes, you're profitable. Just in a second. That's what you need in construction. Want to work with a bookkeeper? Reason why you want to work with a bookkeeper? Because you don't got time for that. Like, oh, I put all this information. You have like thousands of transactions in 1 month. And then you're like, oh, I don't have no time for this. So you get a bookkeeper to do it. And the bookkeeper will be there all day long doing your bookkeeping for you. And then reconcile it. And then you run your report and then you have what you need. Easy peasy. Don't make it hard for you. Don't try to become a bookkeeper. But do know how to do it. Do know how to do it. If you know how to do it, then at least you're like, wait a minute, the bookkeeper made a mistake here. This is not going to this. This should be going to that. But not for you to go there and do it every day because you're doing other things. Your job as the business owner is to get work and to make sure that the work that you're executing is getting done right. Right? Okay. Administrative function, there's always going to be in the back office. You want to set up some clear systems for scheduling, filing, and task tracking. Task tracking is important. Back in the olden days, you used to write it down in a notebook. No. Now you have programs like ClickUp, Asana.
Slow down.
Don't worry, it's gonna be in the next slides. Everything that I'm saying is gonna be in there. Right? Don't worry, don't get scared. I'm just saying there are software programs that you could use that would allow you to track your employees' task, right? There's also applications that you can use so that you can communicate with your employees, right? So there's a gap between the guys that you have in the field working and the girls in the office or guys in the office, and they need to communicate with one another, right? So what do you use? WhatsApp? Yeah, I use WhatsApp. But it's hard to download a picture or a file from WhatsApp. But if you use a program like Slack, you can download it on the desktop and put it right into your system right away. And then you have the communication through channels, which are like the projects. So I have Project ABC over here on 21st Street. All right, give me the punch list items. These are the items that I need. Send it to me. Boom. 5 minutes done. Sends to the PO. Now you can get your page. Just examples. All right. So you want to use templates for emails, reports, forms. All right. You want to keep a central digital filing system with a backup. You want to manage your mail, your phones, and your team calendars. If you're using your phone for a business phone, I'm pretty sure many times you look at your phone and you're like, ooh, that's spam. I'm not going to pick it up. And then later you found out it's actually a business client calling, right? So I would recommend that you get yourself a business phone. One of the ones I recommend is Grasshopper. It's pretty good, or RingCentral is pretty good. And they allow you to create a business line or port over your existing, and then it automatically picks up the phone for you and says, hello, you've reached ABC Construction. Do you know your party's extension? Please enter it now. Or press 1 for sales, press 2 for customer support, or 0 for the operator. And then you have it programmed so that it can go to anybody. Anyone in here can go to, and then that person like, hello, ABC Construction. And they could be working in the field. Or it could be you. You could be the one that's programmed to get all 3 of those calls from 9 to 5 for many times, right? But at least you're allowing your company to grow because it's not just you. And someone's picking up the phone and you want to see what calls you missed and what calls came in. So you go in the system, you see, oh my God, I have 5 missed calls. How many times do you do that?
No.
All right. And it also emails you when you get a message.
Perhaps Apple will email you.
Anywhere you are. And you're like, oh, wow, some Messier called me.
That you can also express if you can get a 1-800 number, which is a virtual number. He'll ask you to call back from that 1-800 number. So they don't know your personal cell number.
Right.
Correct.
But your personal cell can see the call going into your 800 number. And the other cool feature about it is that if you see it, when you tap into the phone, if it's a call that you don't want to take, you can send it right to voicemail.
Or you don't send it over to a different extension.
Or it's this extension.
Right. Well, so I have something to say about the 800 number. Not everybody picks up the 800 number. Because I know when I get the 800 number, I think it's a bill collector. So like, I'm not going to pick it up.
Well, yeah, mine is an 877.
Right. So you can choose any number, or you can use your existing business number. Either way, when the person calls you or you return the call, if you're using the app, it's calling from your business number, not your personal. Because at times people will get ridiculous if they call me at 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're like, this person calling me, it's 9 o'clock. What's wrong with them? So you can just put it to voicemail and it'll go to voicemail and then you take care of it. But it's a system. It's clear. It's not like the problem we have, which is a regular telephone. All right. So this is 4 areas. Let's go to now the next 4. All right. So we have legal. Okay. Legal. It's not if it's not going to happen. It's when it's going to happen. Right. Because it's, you want to use standard contracts and agreements. Review them regularly, or get together with a legal person.
Yes. Well, we had a session. The first session that we had was with Charles Williams, who's a partner at McCarr Williams Agency. So yes, it's a must, right? So when you're going through contracts, it's imperative that you have someone that you can call. Those good law firms are expensive. But if you have someone that can just kind of give you an opinion on something, it would be certainly important.
Yes. Understand your obligations for taxes, insurance, and worker classification. So when you pay, okay, so for those of you that Zelle your friends that worked with you, right? The problem with doing that is that at the end of the year, you end up paying the taxes because they're not a 1099. You are taking out an owner's distribution, right? Which is a big word for saying that you took the money and you got to pay the taxes for it as the owner. And nobody wants to do that because you could be paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to someone. It accumulates after you send it. Then you find yourself in a problem with the tax man, and then you got to pay for it. And you're not going to rat out your friend because he's your friend, and or you tell him, give me your social security. And like, I don't know, but I'm not going to do that. So you want to make sure you understand what the taxes mean. Every time you pay a paycheck, you get taxed, and you have to pay it. Otherwise, they penalize you. And that could be really detrimental to your profit. Maintain up-to-date liability insurance and bonding if you need. You want to set up NDAs and agreements when needed with staff and vendors. You don't want people to give away your secrets. Right? You want to store important documents securely and track the expiration dates, like your certification. If you know your certification is due 6 months from now, try to renew it early, like 6 months before, so that if there's anything that comes up, you have time to correct it. Don't wait till last minute. Do not wait for the last minute, because then you're just going to be pretty upset when they don't work as fast as you want them to work. These are city and state agencies. They want their own pace. So just say it. All right. Legal. We need legal, and we just need to make sure that everything is tight. Technology. Everybody uses technology. I am a technology person. As I mentioned, I was a programmer for 15 years. Choose tools that match your workflow. Important. Don't follow trends like your friends say. Oh, you know what? I use this and it's great. I love it. But you may not love it. It may be too hard for you to use, or it's not what you want. You have to actually go and get demos So you could understand what it's doing. Am I able to work with this? Is my office able to work with this? Do they find it easy? Do they find it hard? You know, these are the things. System that has access control for your team. All right. So you want to separate out your access. For example, but you have finance, you have projects, you have office, right? Are you going to give everybody access to your financials? Are you going to put it in Google Drive? Right. Because the reality of that is somebody can hack it. Do you know that if somebody deletes something on Google Drive, we have 30 days to get it out the garbage? If you don't, you sign on the dotted line that says terms and agreements, I agree. If you don't get it, you lose it. So I have more stuff for you on that. Back up your data, use strong multi-factor authentication, right? Or if you don't want to use a multi-factor authentication, don't use the same password for everything. Someone has they have something that goes through the internet, right? The hacker wakes up in the morning and says, okay, let me go ahead and find out whose password I could break into. Boom, they got one. Then they know where you've been. And then they're like, let's try it for all of the systems. And then they break into all your systems. It is what they do. That's what they do every day. They are hackers. One last thing about technology. Who here has a Gmail and not a domain name? They got their own domain name? You got Gmail. You don't have your own domain. Do you?
No.
You have your own domain. Why?
It was convenient. It was smart to do. I don't know why I did it, but I do know why I did it. I wanted to be able to concentrate and be specifically me. So that's why I did it.
Good. There's another reason why you want it. Because hackers, they will steal your name. They will steal your business name. Why? Because they see you have a Gmail. And as you continue to grow your business, you're going to be that person, that company. And they're going to see, it's posted on the public websites. And they're like, this person is making millions of dollars and they got a Gmail account. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy their domain name for $1. And then I'm going to go ahead and create an email from that domain. And I'm going to reach out to the agency that they're working for and tell them to send me the money. Because who's to say it's not true? It's the truth. And you look surprised, but it happens every day. Go on to GoDaddy website, go to GoDaddy and type in your business name and see if it's available. Someone did it to me. You know what they did? I didn't think about it. The name of my company is Leading Factor. Someone put the Leading Factors with an S. At the time, I didn't think about it. But someone out there is Leading Factors. And they do similar work to me, but I'm my own original, clearly, but they did it. So what I'm saying to you is if you don't get your own domain name, they could do that. They can buy your domain, and there's nothing that stops them from doing that. And they will create an email from your domain, and someone from the agencies will think it's you. Email. They cannot create an email unless they have your domain. But your email is Gmail. And no one can find you anyway. Because if they're looking for your company, how they know what's your company? They're not Googling it because it's on Gmail. And you don't have a Google profile either on Google, and you don't have reviews. And today, many people are looking for good reviews. If you don't have any good reviews, they're not going to want to work with you. You're just one of many. What makes you so special? Right? If you're using Gmail, I'm just being honest. So, just saying.
Yeah.
But it's good that you have it.
Just to chime in on that, folks, cyber attacks are very real. I have a colleague of mine who's just recently got spammed, and they have all this malware on their site. It takes days to get restored. So I would implore you to continuously check on your website to make sure that there's nothing going wrong. I had an incident maybe a couple months ago, and the pain that you have to go through just to follow up with the companies it's not worth it. If you're chasing new business, and the company and the client is looking to verify you, it's just it's the worst time for you to have your website down. So it's something to be mindful of.
Absolutely. So you want to track your login, licenses, and renewals in one place. Okay. You want to project and task management. So you want to break up your work into phases and milestones and assign due dates. You use Trello, right? Trello.com, Asana, ClickUp to track tasks and progress. Hold weekly team meetings, track your delays, change requests, completed work, and use templates, checklists, standardize your repeat projects. And then you got even resources. So it's Inspirity. They're a good site to use because they could do your HR work. If you're not ready to do that, they can do the onboarding and all of that stuff. You want to create job descriptions and hiring criteria for each role. You want to create job descriptions because when someone comes to work for you, they're like, what do I do? It's your job description. That's what you got to do, right? You want to build a smooth onboarding and training process. What do I do? In the training folder, there's a bunch of videos. Go in there and look at the videos. Okay. A good source for that is Snagit. Snagit.com. It's like a snipping tool, but it's better. You know how you're watching, like, for example, let's say this was a webinar. Everybody online is watching this. You could use Snagit to record it. And then you don't have to be telling the people, can you send me the video? They're like, sure. And you never get it. So you want to use that. Snagit used to be a perpetual license. It used to be something that you've paid $62 for, but now they're trying to make money. So now it's a subscription. So that's the only thing. It's a subscription.
Can you spell the exact wording for
We got a criminal right there. Yeah.
You said something, Spirities?
Inspirity. INSPERITY, Inspirity. Yeah, if you Google that, it's an HR website. They do a lot. They do employee handbooks. You need employee handbooks, guys. Why? Because they're going to say, well, it's a holiday. And you're going to be like, well, we're only, reserving, 6 holidays we'll pay for. Not all holidays, right? So how many days are your vacation? Oh, let me get you 5. Well, so-and-so is getting 10. Well, so-and-so don't work for me. You're getting 5 for the first year and you got to earn it. Earn it. It means that someone has to, what's that word? Accrue. Thank you. Yes. You got to accrue the time. Because otherwise they're going to say, all right, I'm going to really quit this job in February. So I'm going to take all my vacation in January. No, not so fast. You got to accrue it. If you don't accrue the time, you're not going to get the time. So keep that in mind because there's people do. They think they're going to, accrue. So they got to earn the time before they get the time off because you can't have the whole office leave in January after you get Christmas and New Year's off and now things are picking up and then they're going to be like, well, I'm taking off now because I want to go on vacation with my husband. And I'm like,